you sit in for Ms. Porter? Okay. Personnel Committee will come to order. Roll call. Present.
Dr. Kelly Joseph. Here. Ms. Miranda Watson. Here. Ms. Donna Jackson. Present.
Okay. First item is to receive personnel updates and workforce dashboard. Ms. Miranda Watson.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Get started with personnel report first. As you can see, the report is pretty lengthy. We've been pretty busy this past month, trying to make sure we got all the positions filled as much as possible. You see, we had 12 new hires. Unfortunately, a couple of our new hires resigned. You will know that one of the names that in the new hire is also in the resignation area as well. That plus two of them in the resignation has got started, and then before school started, they resigned. So altogether, we had 9 resignations. And also, when you look at the transfers, we had to move some people around to fill some vacancies and make things better for our learners. So you see those positions there that have been employed that have been transferred. So if you have any questions about that so far? Then look at the second page, you'll see the positions that we're constantly hiring for. I will note that we have reached out to proximity learning to try to provide some support with ELA. I know that Ms. Butler is hiring, and she has one person, a possibility that we had got a confirmation on her, but now she's going to accept the position. And so I did not list it as a new hire at this time. But she is currently interviewing a person for ELA. All right, if you look at the third page, you'll see the human resources highlight. Some of the things that we've been working on is, of course, the staffing vacant positions, with our biggest focus being on our staffing teacher vacancies. And as you can see from the personnel report, that we've been pretty busy and it's been pretty active. And then due to the nationwide teacher charge, we've had to hire some quality teachers while they're not certified. But we also have made it clear to our new hires who aren't certified that they must enroll in our CERT program and that they must take it seriously to get their certifications. So we did make that known upon them being hired. And we are also excited to announce that we have a new resident, a new student teacher that's going to be at the EL6. So we're excited about that. We did meet with, and she's from Grand Canyon University. She's from our area. We did meet with her supervisor, Dr. Dickey, and she was excited for us. She's from a rural area herself, and she was very impressed that we reached out to her to set up boundaries as to what is expected on both sides. And so we're looking forward to her getting started, if not the end of this week, next week for sure. And finally, we've also distributed the modules for the school training. So that's not the happy time, but it's the best information for our employees. So they have received those. They've started doing their safe school trainings for the 25-26 school year. On the last page, you'll see some statistics for our vacancies. At the College and Career Academy, we increased by 3%. We have a total of 6 vacancies at the time, but only 5 vacancies for teachers. And the percentage for our teacher vacancies right now is 82%, and that increased from last month by 12%. Shadas, we have 1 vacancy overall, and that increased by 6%. And then for teacher vacancy, we have that same one vacancy is at 95% staff for teachers, and that increased by 1% since last month. ELC, we had 2 vacancies, which is our teaching assistant position from the transfers, and so that number remained the same at 95%. And then for our teacher vacancies, we have 100% staff at the ELC for teachers, and which increased by 6% from last month. Overall, our total for the school space is 92% staff, which is a 4% increase. And then for our teachers, we are 9% staff, which is an 8% increase from last month. Do you have any questions about anything?
Oh, Ms. Watson, I was at the police jury meeting Tuesday night, and someone gave me a sheet of paper with 2 names on it and said there were 2 qualified teachers with, she didn't say certified, she said degreed, that applied at the school, and
Okay.
they were not
Reach
considered.
out to us, we'll be glad to.
I have the names, I'll give you the paper with the name down on the paper and gave it to me.
Okay, and we'll then I'll provide the information to our principals who will.
Thank you.
Any more questions? Thank you.
Okay, that concludes the personnel committee. Budget and finance will come to order, roll call. Present.
Present. Dr. Kelly Joseph.
Here.
Ms. Castle.
Here.
Ms. Tracy Womack.
Present.
Okay, receive and consider for approval employee longevity and retention stipends.
Yes. That you will committee, just want to. All right, so we would like to provide a longevity and retention stipend to all our employees with payment amounts determined by years of service in the district. This initiative is funded entirely through the 2024 budget surplus, making it a non-reoccurring expenditure that does not impact the district's ongoing operating budget. So before I get into it, I want to make the point, and it's important to note the difference between a one-time and a reoccurring expense. So a one-time expense occurs only in the current budget year and does not commit the district to ongoing payments in future years. These are typically funded from non-permanent revenue sources such as surplus. And a reoccurring expense continues annually, such as salaries, benefits, or utility costs, and must be supported by stable long-term revenue. So the funds that will be used for this longevity and retention stipend is from the surplus, and it is a one-time expense. So because this stipend is funded by surplus funds, it will not be issued in future years unless similar surplus resources are available and approved by the board. The purpose of the longevity and retention stipend is to recognize and reward the dedication, loyalty, and long-term commitment of all St. Helena Parish School District employees, and providing a one-time financial incentive based on years of service. The district seeks to honor employees' contributions to learner success, encourage continued retention of experienced staff, and demonstrate appreciation for their role in strengthening the educational mission of the district. So, committee, if you look at the calculation table that is before you, we have the years. The first column is the years employed. So we have a category for new hires. We have 0 to 3, 4 to 6, 7 to 9 years, 10 to 12, 13, 15. That's based on what is written in the salary schedule, okay? So we have a total of 22 new hires, and each of them will receive $1,000. Anyone hired between 0 to 3 years and that's 63 total employees, they will receive $1,500. Any employee employed between 4 to 6 years, that's 22 of those employees, they will receive $2,000. Anyone hired between 7 and 9 years, there are 13 of those employees, they will receive $3,000. We have 12 employees that have been with us for 10 to 12 years. They will receive $4,000. We have 7 employees hired between 13 and 15 years. They will receive $5,000. We have 2 employees hired between 16 and 18 years. They will receive $6,000. We do not have any employees hired with 19 or 21 years, but we do have 5 employees that have 22 to 24 plus years of experience. They will receive years of experience in St. Helena. They will receive $7,000. So the total amount of employees is 146, and the total amount for this distribution is $329,500. Our total surplus for the 2024 fiscal year was $596,573. So we still have a balance of the surplus of $267,073. $267,073. Do you have any questions at all about this calculation table or any other requests regarding this?
Okay. Finish? Okay, any questions? No questions? If not, any questions?
I do want to add an item. Since we have so many people that come into the parish and they often seem to want to get whatever we have and then leave. So I'm asking that Dr. Joseph put in writing somewhere 0 to 3. If they leave within that year's span, they owe us $500, and that should be withheld from their last check.
So the new hires to 0 and 3?
0 to 3. If they leave with at any point, at the end of the year, they will have $500 withheld out of that last check. Because they usually, everybody else that I think they should be okay. 4 to 6, that's a lot for them. So show some appreciation for it. And I mean, I think that's being fair to all. 0 to 3 years, because they usually come, get the experience, and they want to bill out on us. So, board members, y'all agree? Disagree?
Which one, where? On the, what, budget? Okay.
So I'm asking the committee for approval.
Okay, could I get a motion on the stipends?
I so move.
I have a motion by Ms. Cheney,
Second.
second by Ms. Lolita Porter. No more questions, we'll take a vote.
Ms. Virginia Bell?
Yes.
Ms. Linda Cheney?
Yes.
Ms. Lolita Porter? Yes. 3-0, motion carried, refer to the full board.
All right, thank you. We're going to go ahead and add item
Yeah,
5. We need to add item 4A. Let's go to 4A. What is?
Food service. Food service stipend.
I need a motion to add item 4A to the Budget Finance Committee for food service stipend.
I so move that we add item 4A as food service stipend.
Have a motion?
I so move.
I have a second.
Ms. Virginia Bell?
Yes.
Ms. Linda Cheney?
Yes.
Ms. Lolita Porter? Yes. 3-0, motion carried, refer to the full board.
Okay. All right, item 4, receive and consider for approval 2025-2026 transportation plan.
So committee, as you all are aware, we have to make some adjustments to how we operate our buses in the district. So what I have before you, and I'm now going to ask Mr. Josh McGehee to come in and provide some supports on that. So as you recall, there was an incident, and I shared this with you all before the previous meeting. There was an incident in northern part of the state, and it was dealing with third-party bus drivers and insurance coverage, and how was that particular district going to support having, a third-party driver in a, situation that would require insurance to be evoked. So that sent up a red flag with Lorma, and so as a result, they looked at all of the policies that they have with the districts across the state and have decided that they will no longer, or they cannot cover third-party drivers. So we needed to go in and make some adjustments to our transportation services. So if you look at the plan, and did I say that, and if I say anything off, please? That's correct. All right. So what we had to do was look at various options. And you all have the options now in front of you, and you will have to vote on which option you would prefer. And this is all based on having to eliminate a third-party drivers. So that means that the district would either have to subsidize insurance for the contracted drivers, or we take in all of the drivers, under the district umbrella, and then lease buses, okay? So if you look at the sheet in front of you, just going to explain what it is. This is our transportation budget. This comes directly from our 2025-2026 budget for transportation. So the first column lists all of our expenses, okay? The things that are highlighted in yellow are the items that will change as a result of, the issues with insurance. The second column is our actual fiscal year expenses for that particular year. And our expenses for transportation totaled a little over $1 million. The next four columns will be the options that you will have to select from. The third column, which is Ross's lease. So if we decide to lease buses from Ross's, we would need a total of 11 buses, 10 regular buses, and 1 lift bus, okay? And then that would include hiring a total of 23 bus drivers, okay? So that first row, as you see, is in yellow. That's the salary that will change from $255,000 to $283,000. So that cost will go up. The next row that's yellow, that's the bus rental cost. For the 2024 actual, it was $501,822. To lease buses, the total of 11 buses from Ross will cost $273,800. Okay? The next thing that would change is gasoline and diesel for those 11 leased buses. Notice that there were no expenses for us for the actual fiscal year 2024. So that would be a new expense of totaling $84,000. The next is fleet insurance. That's physical damage. And understand these are not concrete numbers. They will change, okay? So this is a rough estimate. But the actual cost for our fleet insurance for fiscal year 2024 was $39,501. That cost will increase to around $55,000. The next is liability, and Mr. McGee will address the liability issue in a moment. So we do not have a cost for liability at this time. Workman's compensation also goes up from $15,601 to $35,822. Medicare also goes up from $4,823 to $12,000. And then LACERS, that's the retirement system for bus drivers, goes from $87,641 to $140,000. So overall, within that budget, to lease buses from Ross would be $1,044,060. Any questions about that?
Without the liability.
Right, I do not have liability. Do you want to?
Still have to add
If you
liability.
want. We can shift, if you want to finish the
Okay.
rest of the numbers, then we'll talk about everything.
All right. The next company, Jack Rabbit, if we lease from them, the salary remains the same at $283 because it's still 23 employees. The total cost to lease their buses would be $187,000. So that is the cost for the 10 regular, and 1 lift bus. Their cost is the same for both. The gasoline diesel cost is the same, and everything else with the fleet insurance, workman's comp and all of that is also the same. So currently, the cost for everything, if we go with Jack Rabbit minus liability, is $957,260. The last two columns is Kent Lease, okay? Kent Mitchell. They gave us a quote for used buses and also new buses. So for the used buses, the total cost to rent or lease their buses is $259,800. To rent their new buses is $276,000, with everything else remaining the same. So if you notice, Ross's and Kent, they are already, without the cost for liability, is already pushing close to our actual fiscal year expenses for 2024. So that means that the cost moving forward would be more than what was the actual for fiscal year 2024. So we will have to pay more. Questions?
We're leasing these buses, but we're picking up all the expenses associated with it.
We have to, yes. While we may see a cost savings with leasing the buses, there is an increase when we have to take on the salaries of the employees. Now, those employees that are coming in will be part-time, so there's no need to offer insurance, to those employees. But there is all of the other expenses, workman's compensation, Medicare, and LACERS.
I'm going to backtrack a little bit and cover it, make sure we're all on the same page. The claim that was mentioned earlier was the largest payout in Longmor's history, and it was a significant claim to get their attention. It's an immunity issue with the subcontractors. School districts have an immunity protection under the state. The subcontractors is ruled they do not. It does not extend to them. That's where Norma got caught in the wash on this. So that's why they're backing off and reviewing all their coverage forms. This presentation I have tonight, the first page is a snapshot of last year's proposal that I brought here. I want to show you where you were and what our options are. So last year with Lorma, our liability, I'm rounding up here, we were right at $45,000 for all the liability coverage that Lorma provided. We had 35 buses. That's about $1,300 a bus, which is dirt cheap in Louisiana. Subcontractors, if they had to go out and get quotes on their own buses, they're looking at between $25,000 and $30,000 a unit. So if we have to go out to the market other than Lorma, we're looking at those same prices, $25,000 to $30,000 just for liability. So it's Lorma happy as much as we can. On the bottom of that page, Lorma gave us a blanket limit on automobile physical damage, a $400,000 limit. We had $670,000 worth of values on all of our own district-owned vehicles. That includes the trucks and the trailers, the utility trailers and everything. But we brought an alternative quote last year for physical damage on all the units, and it was significantly more. It was $5,800 versus $18,000. The $400,000 limit, $400,000 limit gives us a blanket on all that. All the vehicles wasn't damaged at one time. Let's flip to page 3. This is a quote for physical damage coverage on the police, or on the buses. Okay? This is also including the district-owned buses. We're looking at putting all the coverages on one policy. I'm going to give you another option after this. So our values, and one of the leasing companies was able to give us a schedule of buses they were going to lease to us so we could get the values of them. And they range anywhere between $75,000 to $130,000 per bus. So our values are going to go from $400,000 to $1.7 million. So we're increasing by 1.3 for 19 total buses. The utility trailers are not going to be covered because the deductible they're offering us is well below the value of the utility trailers. We're looking at $58,000 for coverage on physical damage only on all the lease buses and the 11 lease buses and the owned units for the school district. And there's some terms and conditions there. This is going to change depending on which option you guys go, because each company's going to have different values of buses, but I wanted to give you an idea. The buses are coming in at about a $3 rate. Oh, and it's also a $10,000 comp and collision deductible. That's something to consider. Now, I did have a talk with Lorma. They're willing to work with us on this with that $400,000 limit we have. I said, we'll be able to keep the district-owned vehicles under the physical damage protection of Lorma and just move the leased buses to the other carrier. Split the coverages out, but we know leased buses go in this carrier, owned vehicles go with this carrier. If we do that, that lowers our insured value to $1,038,000. Combined with the Lorma value, the Lorma premium, and this premium, we're at $44,000. So that's a significant premium savings by splitting it into two carriers. And we're getting better deductible terms and conditions with Lorma. The reason why I'm saying this sounds like a no-brainer option, but the reason why we have to make this consideration is because we have to know the value of the buses. So this is going to come back and change. If it's $5,800 for Lorma's physical damage, I'm basing that off the current policy. I don't know what the renewal policy. We have to get this situated so they can release the renewal quote to me so I can come back next month and we can talk about the October 1st renewal. But this is a step to get to that point. We have to take care of the buses schedule so they know how much to rate the buses. But we're not going to beat Lorma's rate for liability anywhere else.
Okay.
I know I just threw a lot at you.
Yes, you did. So,
Just know that the objective was to try to stay as close to the budget, the current budget for transportation as we possibly could. And I think that we have met that goal, but it just depends on the options that you select tonight. And you have to make a selection tonight because there is a time limit on the insurance coverage that we currently have. It will expire.
Well, if we go on it and looking at pure cost, we obviously go with the drag release because that is the most savings. I mean, that's going to put us under the current, our current, or the past budget of 2024, if we're just looking at cost. But is there anything else that needs to be considered besides cost? I mean,
Besides the
buses,
liability?
no, besides, what the total cost, is there anything else as far as these companies? Do we know anything, I mean, the condition of the buses or anything that needs to be considered? Because obviously, you will look at this and say, okay, we're gonna go with the one that's 957, because all the others are $1,040,000, over $1 million.
No, ma'am.
Okay.
All of the numbers are actually rough estimates. We won't know
Right,
that
we don't know,
until-
right, so we're looking at the rough estimates, and from the rough estimates, we have one that's much lower than the others. Who's our committee? Ms. Cheney, and Ms. Porter,
What?
what are y'all thinking?
I'm suggesting that we use Jackrabbit lease,
Based on just the
Based
numbers
on
alone,
the
huh?
numbers.
The numbers?
and we wait on that, option. I'm looking at the option of the one with the 44. Okay.
Option number 2.
Option number 2.
In order for us to finalize that quote, we would have to give Jack, give us a list of buses and values. We're having to provide this. So that's going to change.
Right.
And if the bus values are lowered, obviously, yeah.
Okay.
So it's not going to be.
It's gonna be better.
Yeah,
Yes.
and your bus schedule is going to shrink too, because last year I think we had 35 units on there, and you don't need that many.
Right.
That's a bad draw for Longmont being so cheap. It's not going to drop as much as you're shrinking your schedule, but if it was a $20,000 per year, you would see some significant savings, but we are going to see some savings, even if they have a rate increase because our schedule is shrinking.
And that's good considering what we were under, I mean, what we were worried about and stressing over.
Even if Longmont, I'll always kind of pencil in at 20% when they're in my head. Even if they come in at 20%, we're still less than $2,000.
Yeah.
You can't get a personal automobile insurance for that.
Yeah, I just looked at my house insurance, I mean, everybody, all the insurances are just, it's ridiculous what they're going up. So, I need a motion on this
I
item.
so move.
Okay, a motion by Ms. Cheney.
One second before you, what we would need for whichever option you go, we would just need a copy of the contract showing what the school district is responsible for, so we can provide that to the carriers. And that's all. And if we need to negotiate anything in that, we can get to it. This is a fluid number, but I want to give you a
Right.
ballpark.
All right, so Dr. Jones will be responsible for getting that to you. I move that we look at option with Jackrabbit lease with option number 2.
Okay.
That's my motion.
Okay, I have a motion for Jack River, option 2. Can I get a second? Second. I have a second. No other questions, we'll take a vote.
Ms. Linda Bell?
Yes.
Ms. Linda Cheney?
Yes.
Ms. Elizabeth Porter?
Yes.
3-0 motion carried, refer to the full board for vote.
Okay, item 4A, food service stipend.
Ms. Tracy Womack is going to present.
Good evening, Board. I'm going to wait till you pass it out so we can have it in time. I would like to ask the Board to consider approving a stipend for 5 of our food service workers. Let me justify some of these names I may not be aware of. Within a 2-week period before school started, I lost 4 employees, which was a manager and 3 employees, due to some retiring, sickness. So I had to make some moves, bold moves. So if you look at the flyer that I handed out, and I got it broken down where just that one manager, with that manager, with the staffing was making, that was over $100,000. I hired 2 new people, which was $43,000. And the difference was $57,156. This will not mess with my bottom line at all. This is money that I already had. And what I'm trying to do is, one manager will be managing 2 schools. And I feel that that manager should be rewarded because she's doing the job of 2 people. 2 people. So I'm asking for that particular manager, it's in front of a $5,000 stipend, and this is just for this year, you know, until we can get things going. If we can't get it, we'll come back to the drawing board next year, okay? I'm asking for Ms. Jasmine Giles, which she would be running my warehouse and another school. I'm asking a $3,000 stipend for her. For each one of the schools, I'm looking for a leader to assist that manager, because that manager can't do everything by herself. And I'm asking for these 3 leaders $2,000, which come up to $14,000. If you take that $14,000 out of the $57,000 that I have left over, even if I need to hire 2 additional people, I still have the money, because the beginning salary of is still under $22,000 for a manager. So I believe these people work hard, you know, it's a lot, you know, and I think people should be awarded for their actions. So I'm asking y'all if y'all would please consider these food service stipends.
Okay, so the food service stipend was actually an action item, so you're gonna need approval on that.
Yes.
So this went on as an action item, so we need a motion to approve the food service stipend.
Okay, let me just say this, to clear the air. This is a one-time stipend.
Yes, ma'am.
This is nothing reoccurring. We do not have the funds for reoccurring salaries.
Right.
Okay, so this is a stipend that she's asking for.
Right.
Okay, so I so move.
Got a motion by Ms. Cheney?
I need to make another clarifying point. Ms. Womack is not instead of hiring new people to fill those spots for people who quit, she's giving more responsibility to the staff she currently has.
Right.
And in doing so, giving them the stipend, which will, you know, yeah,
And we
it'll
know-
help over the budget.
And we know a lot of our employees work extra hard. And this is a one-time thing for them, to just show some appreciation.
That's right.
I solely believe on rewarding people when we can. And if that's the case, let's do what's right.
Especially if they take on additional
Additional responsibilities, never complain, and getting the job done. I'm definitely for it. So I so move again.
All right, got a motion by Ms. Cheney. Second by Ms. Porter. No other questions, we'll take a vote. Yes.
Yes.
That concludes the budget and finance.
The education committee will come to order. Roll call.
Ms. Elizabeth Porter.
Present.
Ms. Virginia Bell.
Present.
Ms. Linda Cheney.
Present.
Dr. Kelly Joseph.
Here.
Ms. Wendy Young. Present. Ms. Christy Nettles. Here. Dr. Joshua John Paul.
Present.
Ms. Singleton. Present. All members are present.
First item is to receive and consider for approval the MOU between Next Level Education Services, LLC, and San Luis Parish School Board to provide career and industrial-based courses for high school students.
Yes. Who's working with this particular contract? All right, just step to the podium just in case I need some backup. So Next Level Education Services will provide career and tech coursework for our high school learners, and we're excited about this opportunity for them. So they are an educational institution that provides career-focused certification programs to prepare individuals for immediate employment in high-demand industries. The program includes training in phlebotomy technician, nursing assistant, EKG technician, medical assistant, and patient care technician. Over the past 2 years, this company has graduated and certified over 200 participants, more than 85 securing immediate employment in their respective fields. So by collaborating with this company, our high school aims to expand opportunities for seniors to gain hands-on, industry-based training that supports their career goals and aligns with regional workforce needs. And so what they will receive is, the bundle is EKG and phlebotomy for 1 semester, and then a medical assistant for 1 semester. So included in the tuition is CPR certification, a uniform, and campus-based learning. So the total price for, we have to have a minimum of 10 kids in the program, and each kid, the total cost per learner is $3,270, which totals $30,270, and all of this will be paid with CTE and grant funds, and there will be no impact to our general fund. Would y'all like to add anything?
The minimum number is 10. We have 20 learners who have expressed interest in the program.
And I want to say, according to our college and career coach, this is the highest enrollment with this company ever.
And just FYI, for the public, based on school performance scores, we know that industry-based certification is of importance. And if it's a bundle deal, for the bundle, they get so many points to help improve the school performance score. So I think that's a wonderful thing if we can get that, being that we're short-staffed at the high school, we don't have that many employees, it would definitely be beneficial for the kids. And if they're getting all of that in one bundle, we'll definitely get some points toward the SPS score.
And Next Level is going to be on campus, you said?
Yes, ma'am, we have a secure classroom and the teacher.
Oh, wonderful. Good. I motion,
I second.
Motion by Ms. Virginia, second by Ms. Chamber. The vote?
Ms. Lovina Porter,
Yes.
Ms. Virginia Bell.
yes.
Ms. Linda Cheney,
Yes.
3-0 motion carried, refer to the full board to vote.
The second item is to receive and consider for approval professional service agreement between St. Helena Parish School Board and XP Synergy to provide exceptional student services, media, and creative art instruction.
Yes. So as you all should know, we already have an agreement with this organization through Opportunity Now, where all of our exceptional learners receive lots of workforce-related services, right? They get those experiences. What we want to do is expand it to Project Create, where we have a multimedia course where the kids will receive training in that particular industry or in that particular field. They will receive internship hours and receive pay for doing that particular work. There are a lot of other benefits in this partnership. They will provide all of the equipment, the professional development, and a stipend for one of the teachers who are currently staffed. Adobe-based curriculum for certification. They get the work-based projects. Like I said, they get the paid internship, which is $11 per hour. They get 240 hours of intern internship experience. And then, of course, they do provide the supports that we need throughout the year to make sure that the program is running properly. Would you like to share anything, Ms. Young?
Yes, good evening. I would like to expand on the key points that Dr. Joseph has already highlighted. Definitely, this opportunity would provide our learners with an opportunity to earn a credit. Most importantly, in connecting it with our profile, our vision and profile of a graduate, I want to expand on the point that it's geared to the future-focused section of the profile of a graduate, preparing our learners to thrive in modern, creative industries. So essentially, this opportunity, it's a great opportunity for our learners. Expanding on the stream of grants mentioned by Mr. Greg Lewis, it's an opportunity that will benefit our kiddos, our learners, and allow them to be future focused and having that opportunity to thrive. Any questions?
The total cost for this is $28,000. But we will not, once again, general fund will not be touched. This will be paid through a grant. But we get the money basically back through the equipment that will be purchased, the internship hours, and the stipend that will be paid to our learners in the program. And this is in particular for our exceptional learners. A lot of times we focus on just our regular ed kids, right? They are the ones that we look to get the CTE certifications and all of those things. This program is for our exceptional learners. So they get access and opportunity for the same thing. So we would love if you all would approve this partnership or extend the partnership.
And if I can add, this opportunity is available twice for our learners in that population. And then if you have an opportunity, even just expanding on that, the project create opportunity for our learners this past summer, I had the opportunity to witness the excitement that they exhibited, having the opportunity to just be creative. We live in a digital world, so everything, the opportunity to become content creators and communicating with our kiddos, they have a desire. We live in an innovative world. We're global. Everything connects. So this is an opportunity for that population, our population of exceptional learners, to expand on skill sets that they do pretty much every day, essentially. So
I so move.
A second.
Moved by Ms. Cheney, second by Ms. Virginia, can I get a vote?
Ms. Olita Porter,
Yes.
Ms. Virginia Bell.
Yes.
Ms. Linda Cheney.
Yes.
3-0 motion carried, refer to the full board to vote.
Next item is receive and consider for approval contract between St. Helena Parish School Board and Lawrence Consulting and Advocacy LLC.
So we already have a contract with Lawrence Consulting. However, this contract for this school year, and Ms. Nelson, you're up, we are combining. So last year we had a contract with Lawrence Consulting to do ELA, and then we had a contract with another organization to do social studies. But this year we would like to combine ELA and social studies together under Lawrence Consulting. This will increase the amount of work that this individual will do. It also will increase based on our observation cycles that we'll talk about. We talked about in the past, and we'll talk a little bit more in this meeting. But the workload will double. So we're asking for an increase in this particular contract.
Good evening, Board. With Louisiana's new literacy initiative, they set very high expectations with the Devil's Literacy Screener, the ELA, and Social Studies Suite 2025 assessments. It requires learners to read on grade level complex text. I would like this contract approved because this additional support that we can give the teachers would increase the frequency of observations in those classrooms. It would increase the frequency of coaching opportunities, feedback, and support, which in turn, we would hope to improve instruction, which would yield those improved learner outcomes in literacy. And I also want to add with him working with the social studies. The social studies and the ELA LEAP assessments are now aligned. That means that they have increased the complex text that they are reading in social studies as well. So not to only give that support to the ELA teachers, but being able to give it to the social studies teachers as well.
So the total cost for this contract will be $64,000, but this too is paid through a grant, not general fund. I so move.
I second.
Been moved by Ms. Cheney and second by Ms. Bell. Can I go on?
Ms. Louisa Porter,
Yes.
Ms. Virginia Bell,
Yes.
Ms. Linda Cheney,
Yes.
3-0 motion carried, refer to the full board of closed.
Thank you. Thank you.
Next item, discuss a promotion policy regarding LEAP 2025 assessment to be added to the pupil progression plan.
Yes. So committee, and this is just discussion at this time. There are two things that we want to do this year, that we must do this year. We must increase parental involvement. The community must come together to support the school system. We cannot do it alone. We have done everything that we could possibly do to work with our kids and give them what they need to be successful. As you hear tonight, we're trying to provide even more access and opportunities for our learners. But at the end of the day, none of this will work the way we want unless we have parental support, unless we have the community come together and support the school system. A thriving school system has a community that supports it. We are not thriving the way we should be. Our kids are not thriving the way they should be. So that we definitely need parental support. The next thing we need to do is improve our test scores. We have been over all these years, even with the changes in accountability, and you all know, we kind of beat the dead horse with that. It is critical that our learners pass the LEAP test. That's all we have left to do. We have awesome facilities. We have good things in place. We're a district accredited school system through Cognia. We have all of the right things in place. The two pieces that are missing, and they are big pieces, parental involvement, community involvement, and improved test scores. So there's got to be some type of accountability on our kids, on our parents, to get them to understand the importance of kids taking the test seriously. 3rd through 11th grade or 12th grade, if they have to retake the test. All those tests are on a computer. And a lot of times the kids will just click through, never complete the constructed response. We lose a lot of points with that, right? They're just clicking through and they're done. They're not taking the test seriously. And this is above, high teacher turnover and vacancies. When there is a teacher in the classroom, kids are not taking this test seriously. So we need to put something in place that will hold them accountable and make them understand the importance. Now, we did a test run with the iReady this summer, right? And I want to thank you all for reaching out to your constituents to get them, to get their kids to finish 30 hours of iReady remediation. And that was over the summer months. June and July, we asked for 30 hours of remediation because those kids who needed the remediation failed their last benchmark assessment. The majority of the kids who failed that last benchmark assessment also failed that LEAP exam. So they need more remediation. They need the additional support. The teachers in the classroom are doing all what they can to get the kids to the mastery level, right? There are 5 achievement levels for this test: unsatisfactory, approaching basic, basic, mastery, and advanced. The state only recognizes mastery and advanced. The majority of our kids are at the approaching basic, unsatisfactory levels. We have some in basic. It's no more basic or above. That was gone a long time ago. It is now mastery or advanced. And then there is a new accountability system that has been implemented this year, where there's more focus on growth, more focus on how well kids are past that test. It's more focus on the test. It's more focus on post-secondary. That's why we're pushing internships like we did, started last year. There's got to be some type of accountability in place to get these kids and to get our parents to understand the importance of passing the test. My thought is that, I don't know if you remember, several years ago, you could not move to the next grade if you didn't pass in 4th and 8th grade. 4th and 8th grade, you were held back. I would like to see something similar to that in our place in our pupil progression plan. And it's no longer just 4th and 8th grade, it's every grade. So I would recommend 3rd through 11th grade, you cannot move on unless you pass that test. And if you fail, you have to go or have some type of remediation during the summer. Something has got to give with this. Something has got to break. Our kids are smart, and I will put my kids against any other kids across this state, across this nation. It's just that they don't take the test seriously. And we need, for our letter grade, to reflect the stuff that our teachers do in the classroom and the things that our kids are capable of doing and the things that they do in the classroom every day. So something has to happen. So I'm asking you all for your thoughts and ideas about it. But, you know, what I would like to see is that if you fail a test, you don't move on to the next grade.
I have a question about that, because some kids are just not test takers. And they may, because for my daughter, experience with her, an honor roll student, but she could not pass, she didn't pass the test. And that took a lot out of her. So what are we doing for kids who are honor roll students, they just failed the test? I mean, are we gonna hold them back?
Yes, because the State Department does not recognize that. The State Department does not recognize that, hey, you don't have internet service, or hey, you can't pass a test, or hey, you have all of the reasons why kids can't progress or why this district can't progress. All of those reasons, no, okay, make it happen. They're in the stance of make it happen. So we have to make it happen. I can't go to Baton Rouge and tell them that. They're going to say, you need to figure out what needs to happen to get that kid to pass the test. They're not going to say, okay, we're going to change up the accountability system just for kids who can't pass a test. I'm not a good test taker either. But that doesn't mean that the expectation and the standards are going to drop just because I can't.
This is not for kids that would have like a special ed type of,
Because
Exceptional services kids, they have to take a test too. What's it called? It's Leap Connect. They have to take Leap Connect.
but it's based on their skill. I mean,
Yes, it is.
they're not taking the same thing.
They
Yeah, they have to
to.
test, but they're not testing like the regular.
But it's still counted toward the SPS.
Some of them are taking the test.
Right. Yes, right. Reconnect.
There have been years where our Leap Connect kids did far better than our regular kids.
On the
On the
test
test.
designed for them,
Yes.
their test.
And anybody in the audience, if you have some thoughts or like to share your ideas, please come forward. But something, we have got to do something. And it has to happen this year.
Well, it's definitely something that we have to think about, so.
Can we
Do
put
that.
some thought into this one and come back
Yeah,
next month with it?
yeah, we want to get together
So
and talk
can
on this.
can I move that we table this to next month, bringing ideas back?
It was just discussion anyway, though, right?
Yes,
We
ma'am.
didn't have to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. If there's no more questions or comments, this concludes the education committee.
Health Advisory Committee come to order. Roll call.
Ms. Joy Porter,
Present.
Ms. Virginia Bell,
President?
Mr. George Hughes, Dr. Kelly Joseph.
Here.
All members are present.
Item 3, receive and consider for approval MOU between St. Helena Parish School Board and Southeast Community Health System to provide a school-based health center at each school campus.
I
Yes.
thought they were doing it.
Well, we have to renew it every
Oh.
year. So this is just a renewal to have the partnership with Southeast Community Health System.
Do they have mental health specialists on campus?
Yes.
Or each one of those clinics, or somewhere? Okay. I move that we renew this.
Have a motion by Ms. Bell, second by Mr. Hughes. Vote
Ms. Joy Porter,
yes.
Ms. Virginia Bell.
Yes.
Mr. George Hughes,
Yes.
3-0, motion carried, refer to the full board to vote.
Item 4, receive and consider for approval MOU between St. Helena Parish School Board and Southeast Community Health System to provide a licensed professional counselor, behavioral health coordinator to assist with the coordination of service to learners provided by SCHS school-based site employees.
Yes, committee, this is also a renewal that, is brought before you every year. And this is the partnership where we help provide, I believe, just a quarter of the salary for that particular position. Licensed professional counselor.
We have one at each school or just one?
It's just one. And we pay $15,000 a year,
That's our portion.
yes.
I move.
It's been motion by Ms. Bell, was second by Mr. Hughes. Vote
Ms. Joy Porter,
yes.
Ms. Virginia Bell,
Yes.
Mr. George Hughes,
Yes.
3-0, motion carried, refer to the full board to vote.
If no other items disclosed, next meeting.
All right, moving right along, already. We get started. Principals, teachers, and staff. Dear Heavenly Father, we give you all the glory, honor, and praise in all things. Lord, we know that you know all things about us. Lord, we know that you're the creator and maker of all things. And we know that you know all things from the beginning to the end. We know that it's you that makes all things possible, Father. We ask for forgiveness of all of our sin, Lord, whether it be omission or commission. Bless us all and bless this day of new beginnings. Smile upon this staff and student body and surround us, Lord, with soft manner of your love. Cover us with your precious blood. Teach this community to follow in your footsteps and to live life in the way of love, faith, hope, and charity. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. The meeting room will come to order. We are now holding a meeting of the St. Helena Parish School Board. Roll call.
Ms. George Porter,
Present.
Ms. Mr. Alita Porter. Mr. Henry Shane.
Present.
Mr. Gerard Hughes.
Present.
Ms. Virginia Bell.
Present.
Mr. Alvin Travis.
Present.
All members are present.
Item B, approve minutes and agenda. July 10th committee meeting, July 10th regular board meeting. And the current agenda, you guys want to approve these collectively?
I move we approve them collectively.
Motion by Mr. Travis, second by Mr. Hughes, that we approve all minutes and agenda collectively. Any questions? No questions? Shall pass by general consent. Item C, superintendent's report.
Good evening, Board. Good evening, everyone in the audience, and welcome. Just have a couple of things. Can you, Ms. Leatrice, start? We have some presentations we'd just like to share. I would like to share with you all the number of learners that we now have in the district this school year. So if you look at the chart, you see the number of kids that we have per grade level, and based on each school. So at the Early Learning Center, we have a total of 249 kids. At the Arts and Technology Academy, we have a total of 312 kids. And at the College and Career Academy, we have a total of 450 kids. That's a total of 1,011 total learners in our district. If you go to the next slide, I'd like to share with you the trend, our enrollment trend since 2020, and that's since COVID. Just like all other districts, we've seen a reduction in our total enrollment, and you see those numbers there. So in 2024, we had a total of 1,037. That's a reduction of 25, but that is because we lost a class, a pre-K class. So that's why the majority of that is because of a pre-K class that we lost. And I believe that started in 2023? 2023. We lost, instead of 3 classes, we're now down to 2. So that's why those numbers are the way they are. And so you see it's a declining trend from 2020 in our enrollment. And as I stated, that is just the trend across the board. A couple other things I want to share before I let the directors come up. We did have our conflict resolution program, and today was day 2 of that program, of the training that all of our learners received. And so that's the picture of all of the kids who are now skilled conflict resolution kids. And so we're excited about that. And actually, Ms. Singleton shared that they put their skills into practice today when they went back to school. And so what it is designed to help all of our kids who have issues, you know, they like to call it beef, or, you know, some issue going on between groups of people or individuals. These kids now have the skills to help solve those issues in a positive way. So we're very excited about this. This is one of the things that we're doing internally to help change the climate and culture of our high school. So they graduated today. So please, let's give them a round of applause. All right, next. Just some highlights that I'd like to share with you all. As you know, our theme, we're doubling down on our theme of systems, structures, processes, and outcomes. The first thing is our virtual academy. All of our transcripts were mailed off today. We had a total of about 230 participants in our virtual academy. I think this is one of the highest years that we've had. And the earnings that we collected from that was over $25,000. So we're, you know, bringing in revenue as a result of this virtual academy. Communication platforms, I just want to remind the community about our bus app. We ask that they sign up for the bus app. It's like a Uber technology where you'll know where your child is, you know, at all times on the bus. So you'll know what time the bus is coming to pick your child up and what time your child is going to get dropped off in the evening. This is one program, board members, that I would like to, at the end of this year, take a look at and see if there's a good return on our investment. Because this is a really good app, but if it's only as good as, you know, the participation. So if our parents aren't utilizing this app, then, we'll have to come back and look and see if it's a really good return on our investment. We also have our district app and all of our social media platforms, so if you want to know what's going on in the schools, just, download that app, look on our social media platforms, and we also have Flying Ghost videos. Another thing I'd like to share is our Blueprint to Excellence, our strategic plan. We do have our bold plays that are now connected to every purchase that we make. So anytime anybody wants to make a purchase, I don't care if it's a pack of pens, it all has to be connected to a bold play or an action item within that strategic plan. So everything that we do has got to be aligned to or with our strategic plan. So that has been implemented and running fine. We also have a digital tracker for our plan to make sure that we are on track or on pace to, achieving all of the goals or the goal plays that we have listed in that plan. Then we also have our maintenance and facilities plan that also has a digital tracker to make sure that all of our facilities are, up to par, and that all of the things that we're doing, we're making sure that it's a positive environment, a clean, positive environment for all of our learners. We also are going to start, once again, our Superintendent's Advisory Council, and these are the members I'd like to share with you all. We have Elise Hitchens, who will represent 7th grade, Tristan Burton, who will represent 8th grade, Kirsten Tillery, who will represent 9th grade, Taisha Lewis, who will represent 10th grade, Micah Starks will represent the 11th graders, and we have Cassidy Cahill, who will represent 12th grade. Our first meeting will be September 2nd, and then they will make a decision on who's going to represent them on the board. So we will have that individual with us at every board meeting to lend their voice for all of our learners. So we're excited about that. Next slide. All right, next we'll move into our director's report, and we'll start off with Ms. Donna Jackson.
I'm excited to share with you our information about our Grow Your Own program, in which we have a partnership with Reach University. Reach University is an approved teacher leader program for the state of Louisiana. Our scholars will earn a BA degree in liberal studies while working toward teacher certification. I'm excited to announce our scholars for this year. We have Sarah McGuire, Cassandra Gorman, Davisa Broomfield, Teresa Broomfield, Carlisha Muse, and Ashley Davis. I would like for Ms. Sarah McGuire to come up at this time. And she will share her personal experience with Reach University.
Good evening. Good evening. I just want to share with you all about my personal experience with Reach. It's been a challenge, but it's an excellent challenge. I learned from, it's prepared me for my certification and everything I need to know for all of the my practices. They prepared us to the T. They prepared us for classroom management, lesson planning, anything that we need, we think we may not need for a classroom setting, they're preparing us for it. Anything that we might have a little bit of confusion for, they're there to help you with it throughout the way. So, I think it's a really good program. No lie. It's a really good program. So, hopefully, I will be done this coming May.
And what I love about this district, St. Helena, we're going to support all of our scholars that are part of Reach University. So we're going to pay 2/3 of their tuition every month. So that's a great thing. So we want to make sure we let them know that we support them along this journey. Any questions?
How much is it per month?
It's $75 per month.
$75 per month. They pay,
25
and we pay 50.
Thank you.
And I just want to add to that, if I can, just stick my nose in there for a moment. All of these are our local
Yes,
own.
yes.
So erase some of that negativity. These are our own. So it's no such thing as we don't utilize what we have.
Exactly.
We're using what we have to get what we want.
And I want to add one more thing. We're adding 2 more enrollments, so we're excited.
Very good. Awesome.
So we ask all of our teaching assistants, we ask our cooks, janitors, we ask anybody, if you're interested in receiving your degree in education, we will help you do that. So this is how we grow our own. Because a lot of people who, are here, they don't have the credentials in order to accept the job, and they want it. So to be able to have this opportunity for them I think it's a game changer. So we're very excited about that.
Awesome.
All right, next, Ms. Singleton. Special programs and initiatives.
Good evening, everyone. Just some updates for the Department of Special Programs and Initiatives. Starting with our partnerships, we did have some new partnerships this year we talked about earlier. One being the partnership for our conflict resolution team. And just as Dr. Joseph had a picture, I have a picture as well of the learners. There were 22 learners today that are now trained mediators. Then our XP Synergy opportunity now, the current enrollment is 10 learners for the Opportunity Now program. And those are exceptional learners, whether they are exceptional through an IEP or 504, they qualify for the program. And they have been turning in their permits so they can get the work experience. Ladies of Integrity, I introduced them last school year, but the partnership is on the ground running for this year. And that is some of our alumni and their peers have developed a group of young ladies doing support and assistance to our young ladies just to build their skills academically, socially, emotionally. And so they were present at the meet and greet to get some interest from the young ladies at the College and Career Academy. And then next level educational services, that's the program for our learners who want to get those certifications and credentials in the phlebotomy classes, the EMG, CMA program. And as I stated earlier, we have 20 learners who have completed the application. There are still some who are more interested, but there is that conflict. Some are interested in that, but some are interested in the technical program. So, okay, which one can you do? Because the next level programs are year-long. Our continuing partnerships, as always, our partnerships with the Audubon. Sensational Girls resumed this month, and Ms. Keller wanted to she changed the group, so it's only one group at the College and Career Academy now, so 7th grade, so it's 4th through 7th grade. Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank, we resumed our pantry distribution, and the backpack program begins this month. The first set of backpacks will be sent on the 26th. So the applications have been sent home to learners grades pre-K through 6. So parents, if you're listening, please submit those back. And then Go Jobs, our Go Jobs learners, those are those seniors who get that work experience and they get to work and learn office skills, executive functioning skills through placement in the district. So it can be at a school site, at a district space.
And we have 3 learners, and this year they were able to start in June. So they will work June through June. Instead of, in the past, it's been September through May, so they have an extension. PJ's Coffee is now open. We have 3 newly trained baristas. They are working towards their bronze bean certification, and that's just an extended level of training. It starts at bronze, and they can get silver and gold certifications. The hours of operation are 8 to 12:45, and you can place orders through the PJ's website. So if you look for St. Helena, you can look directly through the location locator, or you can just order online and do it that way. Or you can, of course, use your card in the actual PJ's Coffee location at the school.
And please note, PJ's is not just for the kids, it's for anybody. It is we are franchise owners, so anybody in the community can come and get a cup of coffee and whatever else, treats that we have in the store. So everybody, please sign up and come get some coffee every day.
Yes, and the first time you can get it is September 21st. Oh, not September, August 21st. Correction. August 21st at the meeting at the open house for the high school. But they will be at other events. So last year we had them at the STEM Fest, so different events throughout the year they'll be open and operating. And then finally, our internships, we had 3 learners that participated in the summer internship. That was those learners continuing their internships before they left for school, work, or what have you. And then our partners for this year, some are our previous partners, like the hospital. We have 4 intern spots for the hospital, and they do have to have a CNA or some type of medical certification. So that's where that next level will come into play. DIMCO will have 1 intern. The police jury is increasing to 2 this year. And then some new additions, TNT Solutions is looking to add on the Council on Aging, the St. Helena Parish Sheriff's Office, Faith and Hope Independent Living. They also want to do partners, and Ms. Jackson gave me information today that Ms. Mildred Womack would like to start the internship process. So we are sending over the MOU and everything to her so that we can get on the ground running with that. And on August 27th, our work-based learning teacher, Ms. Courtney, is planning a match day to kind of reflect what would happen at a medical school match day, where they get their envelopes and they find out where they're going, but they will get their envelopes to find out what their internship placement would be. And so they would, those partners would come in, they would do some brief interviews with them, some meet and greets, and just to make it a fun opportunity for them, to get them excited about the internships.
And we still do have that ICED online platform where our learners can get or earn their credentials online. So, just trying to close those gaps.
We included this year the computer science class is looking at courses in the ICED platform. And then, of course, our Adults Unlimited learners, and they got their official certificate over the summer. So,
And financial literacy.
Everything that we can find, environmental science class as well.
You know they can get a bundle with ICB through ag, with Ducks Unlimited, the plant and the environment. That's a bundle. That gets you one. Okay?
All right. Thank you.
All right, next, Ms. Tracy Womack. Director of Child Nutrition and Wellness.
Good evening again, board. Just a quick second. I won't be long. I'm just giving you some numbers from August 5th through the 13th. On our lunches, so far we have served 5,080 lunches, 4,940 snacks, and 4,780 breakfasts. Since we started, we do a lot of scratch cooking. Even though kids come in and throw it away, but we do cooking with love in that cafeteria. We've done Salisbury steak, we do spaghetti, homemade rolls, fresh salads, and you hear a lot about my kids coming home hungry. They say that a lot. But the food is there, they get fresh snacks. We make sure that these kids get what they need. Every month, we are starting with something new. It'll be something different on the menu that wasn't on there previous. So, we looking into, like, even superintendent brought me all meat, all stuff, and we looking into it. If we can get a recipe where we can stay within line, the guidelines, we will offer ball meat, corn, and potatoes. We will be doing that. Anybody that have suggestions that I can align, as long as it's not state, because I'm not buying state. As long as it's aligned with the guidelines, send it to me. Send it to me, and if I can, if we can come up with a recipe and get it approved, I will serve. So, I hate the thing when they say my kids go hungry. They go hungry because they want to go hungry. We put a lot in it with all these programs I got, with all this food and stuff. It's plenty in there to eat. Any questions for me?
I think the kids, when they say that the kids come home hungry, yeah, because we provide them with breakfast and lunch. Lunch is like at 12. By the time they finish school and get home, it's dinner time. So yeah, it's time to eat dinner. So parents, you got the dinner. We got the breakfast and the lunch.
Right.
Thank you, Ms. Womack. Next is Ms. Young, Director of Exceptional Services.
Where's PJ?
Good evening again. Right now, you are being issued a snapshot of our exceptional service learner reports towards our population. Okay. Now, if you notice, it's itemized by numbers and grouping. Collectively, Category 1 encompasses our learners from pre-K all the way to 12th grade. Now, the total, it's a breakdown and a combination, it's a collective combination of learners who are receiving instructional minutes related to cognitive needs, speech therapy services, occupational therapy services, adaptive physical education services, and lastly, it would be physical therapy services. Each category, again, and not to mention gifted and talented, because diverse learners, we have learners on all, it's very broad, very diverse. So we have each category broken down. I'll start with pre-K population. We have 4 learners. Kindergarten, we have 12. First grade, 14. Pardon me, I'm struggling to see this. It's a little down here, but for second grade, we have 16. Third grade, 27. Fourth grade, 28. 37 learners for fifth grade. 39 for sixth grade. 33 for seventh. 8th grade, 27. 9th grade, 29. 10th grade, 18. 11th grade, 34. And 12th grade, 25. So that's a total population of 343 learners. And again, this is a combination of all learners, and you'll look at category 5. We have the categories broken down. This encompasses all learners who are receiving instructional service for minutes, primarily supporting our learners with ELA and math needs. We also have adaptive PE. That would be our learners who would need that physical support due to a combination of physical impairments. Same with OT, and of course with speech therapy services, our goal is to horn in and allow our learners to expand so that they can articulate and express and communicate effectively. Also, the breakdown of this snapshot includes our exceptional learning service staff members. In total, we have 14 teachers, paraprofessionals 4, speech therapy services, we have 3, occupational therapy services 2, adaptive physical education 1. Number of teachers in the learning space would be 13. I look forward to sharing more in-depth view of, providing a more in-depth view of everything that we have to offer in our exceptional service department. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we have Ms. Christy Nettles, Director of Academics for ELA and Social Studies.
Good evening, board and community members. One of the things that I'm going to talk about first is the Summer Reading Program 2025. That's our online reading program where the learners read 3 on-grade level texts. Then they take a test. We call it a test, but it's almost like a book report because they're able to report on, the key details, characters, what they thought about the book, and that's what I like to read. The responses when it says, one of the last questions is, would you refer this book to a friend? And, like some of them, one of them said, I referred this book to my grandma. So it was just, they just have all of these wonderful little, different responses when they talking about the books that they've read online, which is, it's digital, so it's something a little different. There was a total of 401 learners that completed the summer reading assignment. 203 learners at the St. Helena College and Career Academy completed the assignment. At Shada, 114 learners, and at the Early Learning Center, there were 84 learners. The next thing I'm going to talk about is our 3rd grade summer literacy remediation program. This is something a little different than our iReady program. Act 422 of the 2023 legislative session mandates that 3rd grade learners scoring well below on 3 administrations of the Dibbles Literacy Screener will not be promoted to the 4th grade. For the 19 learners that scored well below on the 2 end-of-the-year Dibbles Screeners, a 4-week in-person summer literacy remediation program was held to provide that targeted intervention on foundational skills and on measures on the literacy screener. At the end of the 4 weeks, the learners were then tested for the 3rd time. The results are as follows. 4 learners were promoted because they scored above the well below benchmark score. We have 13 learners that were promoted due to the good cause exemption, which was provided for our exceptional learners, and 2 learners were retained. Our iReady summer remediation, we had 254 learners that completed the required 30 hours. We had 65 learners that were retained, and 44 learners are awaiting SBLC approval. And the last thing I'm excited to discuss is our A1 Fluency Tutor that provides a mirror. It provides real-time micro-interventions to our learners, and it has been extended to include our 7th and 8th grade learners at the high school. Middle school ELA requires longer, more complex passages. The Amira coaches these learners to read with accuracy, pace, and expression. But what's exciting about this is that learners can practice reading aloud privately because all of the learners in the classroom have the headsets with the mics. So when they read, they're practicing that fluency privately without the fear of being judged if they have difficulties reading because they can only hear themselves and that AI tutor. So our first 7th grade class will start that program on tomorrow morning at 9:30. So I'm excited about that. I'm glad that our middle school learners will have that opportunity to get that extra fluency practice. Any questions?
Thank you, Ms. Nettles. All right, next we have Dr. John Powell, Director of Academics for Math and Science.
Good evening, Board. I just want to add with what Ms. Nell shared before regarding the IRD completion. IRD cover sheet was given to the principals as a guideline to determine the number of retainers in each grade level. Based on that guideline, the learners who had 2 hours or less were allowed to complete the IRD lessons during the first week of the school, and they had to complete in 1 session. The learners who had 3 to 5 hours left, they were given 2 sessions to complete, and also they should have scored basic at about on the leap test. And also the learners who had 6 or more hours left to complete their work will be retained unless the SPLC committee discovered any extenuating situations. So those numbers, what Ms. Nett presented, were based on these guidelines. We're excited to begin the observation and coaching cycle. It officially begins on August the 25th. This week and next week, we are conducting the pre-cycle observation to conduct the learning walkthroughs to collect the data to provide the targeted support to the teachers. And it is based on the Vital Goal 3 of our strategic plan. The next is the Louisiana Math Lift Initiative, which is really a great initiative this year. All the 3 schools in our district will be supported through this initiative. Through this initiative, the coaches from ZERN will be visiting all the 3 schools, and we'll be having the coaching sessions with the ZERN coaches from all 3 schools, and also provide the targeted support to the learners and teachers. The next thing is the BSCS we partnered with BSCS and Southern University to provide the curriculum support to the 8th grade science teacher. Mr. Woods will be getting this support. It is basically a research study to see the effectiveness of the new open science curriculum. The new science pacing guides have been drafted, which integrates all the IXL skills, which help all the science teachers to assign the digital lessons every day, like that. Based on the new Lane Act, all the K through 2 teachers will be mandated to complete the numeracy course. And we had this kind of similar mandate last year for grade 4 to 8, and we completed 100%. It is like we are one among very few school districts who have 100% completion. The next is the numeracy screener, which is coming up this year. This year will be the learning year, and 26-27 will be the implementation year. Because there are some reporting, not the issues, we will not have a full-fledged report from the KITE state platform. We have to have our local screener, which will be called KITE. So basically this learning year, we will have 2 screeners, and the teachers and test administrators are already trained for the local screener. We are waiting on more guidelines regarding the state screener. Through HG grant, all K through 8 teachers will receive the ZERN kits, and it has been already purchased. And thank you, Ms. Singleton, for your assistance on that. Lastly, we have the new curriculum for Algebra 2 and Geometry. Over the summer, we had the curriculum review committee, which consisted of all the teachers and the admin and the district leaders. And we decided to go with Envision Status, which is really an extensive program to track the learner progress every day. So this is for Algebra 2 and Geometry.
When is our STEM event, our STEM NOLA?
STEM NOLA event is coming on September 11th. So we will have one event in the fall and one event in the spring.
All right, and share your good news with the board and the community.
So I've been selected as a teacher leader advisor from the state.
All right.
Thank you.
You want to explain what that means?
I'm still trying to learn. I approached the state on that. I served on 3 different committees. The assessment item review committee in the past, and also the range finding committee through VRC to understand how type 2, type 3 questions are graded. And I'm excited to share that information to our teachers, and I'm working on preparing the presentation on that one. And I was also part of the standard review committee. I think this teacher leader advisor across the state, I will be required to travel every now and then to provide the support to different school districts. So that's what I learned so far.
All right, and last but not least, we have Ms. Ashley Castle, our Director of Finance.
Hello, good evening. The 2023-2024 financial audit has been completed today. This has been a long, hard process. A couple of hardships coming in 2023. The general ledger had not been reconciled properly. The books and ledgers had not been closed for 2 prior years. No standard processes were in place for a smooth transition for me to come in, as far as just being given a guide on what it is. As a result, we had substantial reconstruction of the financial records that was required to bring the accounts to a reconcilable and an auditable state. Delaying the presentation of accurate and financial statements, and also turnovers within the financial auditor's firm as well, delayed the entire process. Through all the hardships, we made it. So, being that the financial audit is over with, and encountering all of those hardships, our only finding was that it was late.
That's it?
That's it.
Yeah.
So gathering all the financial documents, reconciling, closing, keeping everything, getting everything on track, we only was found that it was late. So.
That's good. Good job.
All right, so our auditor, they recommended different things, established procedures to ensure uniform guidance. They suggested just getting on track with turning things in on time. And as a result, for the corrective action, I was enrolled in a year-long business manager cohort for the Louisiana Department of Education. I completed that. It was to help increase compliance and efficiencies within state and local reporting. I also was enrolled in the Louisiana Association of School Business Officials, and going to those conferences, it helped me gain knowledge for reporting, compliance, CFA preparation, and audit requirements to ensure that we can keep staff, decrease turnovers with our department, and make sure I turn in everything to the state. So things were put in place to make things better. I'm hoping, and I am very confident for the years to come, that we will not have this late finding, and things have been put in place to keep things going. So I'm hoping for great things for St. Helena with our audits and our state turning.
Awesome. Great.
That's the conclusion as well.
Thank you, Ms. Castle. And then on August 21st, I have a personal meeting with the State Superintendent, Dr. Brumley, to discuss ways the Department of Education can support our school system. So I will have a very candid conversation with him to talk about how his staff can come in and support us a whole lot more. So that's happening on August 21st. So I appreciate him, being able to spend that time with me on that day. So this is the start of the school year, and so we're very excited about that. I'm very grateful for the staff, the directors that we have. They're very capable, very competent individuals who really work hard to make sure that our learners are successful and that we close the gaps and provide more access and opportunities for them. At this time, we will let Mr. McPherson come up and present. Oh, is all three of y'all? Oh, excuse me, all three principals. Mr. McPherson from the Arts and Technology, Ms. Smith from the Early Learning Center, and Ms. Butler from the College and Career Academy.
Good evening, board and community members. We are proud to present to you the first days of school. everything that we do, of course, is tied to our district vision. Every time we meet for a PLC, every time we have a big initiative, we want to make sure we have those 3 pillars. And it's so important to us. Let's clear our throats and let's read our district vision together. Our district vision is to create an equitable, productive school culture that increases learner success, develops educator effectiveness, and builds public confidence. It allows us to keep the main thing, because when you lack vision, you never make it to your destination. And at the end of the day, this is the first day of school. We had a DJ, we had a lot of different things happening at our campuses, but to see our incoming third graders smile, it made us make sure that we had our vision steered in the right direction. All right, so looking at learner success, this is the first part of our vision. We have to tie it back into data. Data drives everything that we do. So if you look at the bottom picture, that's just an example of some of the data check conferences that we had. Dr. Joseph provided us with a wonderful template, and we tweaked it because, like we said, with the new accountability system, 750 is the floor. Nothing below 750 counts. So they were able to look at their previously data, and they were able to set goals with their homeroom teacher. They have a portfolio, so before and after every benchmark, they're going to review these goals and make sure that they stay on track. As our academic directors alluded to, we did make sure at every school site that we adhere to the mandate set forth as far as our I-Ready summer remediation, and making sure that we had everything in place so that way we were consistent across the board. We also decided to start our SBLC meetings sooner rather than later to address any learner needs, and we have decided to even look past I-Ready and look at some of our learners who were in that well below area, and make sure that we started the year off strong to evaluate them or just reconfigure their supports as needed. And we wanted to implement our curriculum. Yes, we had routines, we had procedures, but we do not have time to waste, because if we do not master this curriculum, if we do not master these standards, the learners will not be able to become successful, especially with this new accountability system. Now I present to you, Ms. Smith.
Good evening, board, Dr. Joseph. Moving on to our next pillar, which is educator effectiveness. We spent a week long prior to the start of the school year doing a week-long professional development with all of our staff. That's pre-K through 12th grade. So we made sure that all staff were, they received the professional development pertaining to their content area. We've also, even though it's the second week of school, started our PLC meetings. So we've already gotten started with PLC meetings that will happen weekly on Wednesdays. We are already in classrooms making sure that Tier 1 curriculum is being implemented and utilized, and that we are using Bullseye to walk through as a walkthrough tool as we're going into classrooms using a 5x5 model. And that is 5 minutes, 5 classrooms a day, making sure that we get into these classrooms and that we are observing, seeing that this curriculum is in place. And passing it along to Ms. Butler.
Good evening, board members, community, and Dr. Joseph. So I have been tasked with delivering the third pillar, which is public confidence. I'm starting with an open house and parent data meetings. We did that during our first week. To back up, open house will be for the College and Career Academy. It will be Thursday, August 21st from 5 to 6 p.m. Also, we incorporated our fire and bus drills. Also, our updated, keeping our social media updated, our J Campus postings. That's those communications that come to all stakeholders through J Campus in the form of text messages, phone calls, and emails with important information in our school system. Also, we were focusing on our safety protocols. Also, I want to recognize our community partner news forums. They were available to assist at my campus during the first week. The news family was very instrumental in supporting our staff and learners. They partnered with the staff to do classroom walkthroughs where they were pleased with the structure and procedures. Also, we are looking forward to continue partnerships, not only with the Muse family, but all our partners, because they are insights to St. Helena College and Career Academy. It's very invaluable.
So we open our doors, not just to keep them open, but to build a bridge through our community. You know, we just want to build a bridge because the bridge is an essential supporting structure that's built through an itemized process that we pray will produce, and we know will produce, healthy, strong outcomes. So what are our next steps? Of course, we're going to live in classrooms, intentional classroom observation and support that are tracked weekly through our bullseye observation tool. We want to ensure that all of our structures, all of our procedures that we have in place are consistent from the start of the year to the end of the year. We also want to make sure that we provide our parents with frequent opportunities to visit the school sites and to have an active voice in their learners' education. Finally, we believe that the systems we establish and the procedures we follow in the beginning determine the strength of the outcomes we see in the end. We started strong and we will finish even stronger, and we will produce soaring, winning outcomes. Why? Because we are and will forever be. Hashtag St. Helena winning. Thank you.
Thank you, principals. Thank you, directors. And I am pushing for our principals to hold the line. Hold the line. We have clear expectations, we have clear procedures, we have policies, we have rules and guidelines. And I am pushing for them to hold the line. If you need to have on, a solid color jacket, you come to school with a solid color jacket. If it's stated that you can't have cell phones, because that's not our policy, that's a state policy, then you don't have the cell phone. If we say this is the time where you get to go to the restroom, or this is the time these things are going to happen, we will be consistent with that throughout. So, principals, I'll say it to you in front of everyone, you hold the line and hold everyone accountable and make sure that they rise to the expectations, because no one rises to low expectations. And so we are 7 days in, board members, and these are all of the things that we have accomplished. Two things, once again, we need more community support. We need community involvement. And the second thing, we have got to improve our test scores. And all of the things that you heard tonight are the ways that we're going to make that happen with this new accountability system that's set to take place this school year. So with that concludes my report. Thank you all very much. It's August, it's the first day, it's first month.
All right, next item, approved committee reports from August the 14th, 2025. Motion by Ms. George Porter, second by Mr. Hughes. Any questions? No question, shall pass by general consent. Before we close our meeting, we do have a candidate that's running for tax assessor here that would like to speak. So, Ms. Tanner, you can come.
Good evening, Dr. Joseph and the board. I would like to announce that I am a candidate for the tax assessor for St. Helena Parish. My number is number 2. I'm asking for your support. I'm asking for your vote on October 11th. Early registration, early voting will be September 27th through October 4th. Also, I want you all to know that I will be transparent. I will be fair. And also, I plan to modernize the technology in the assessor's office, if you all allow me to lead in that office. Once again, my number is number 2, and I do need your support and your vote. Thank you.
All right, announcement of next meeting date will be at 12893 Highway 10. Greensboro, Louisiana, 70441, which will be on September the 11th, 2025. Closing comments, any board members?
I just want to say that I hope you all have a marvelous, awesome year this year. And principals, I've given you all my number. I don't get around as much as I used to, and as much as I would love, but you still can call me. I can talk to you over the phone. Because I got some bad ones in y'all system. They're not my children, but they're my grands. When you call me. But, and I also would like to send a great shout out to Ms. Nettles and Dr. Joseph. I know you all was tired of me calling y'all this summer. Please give me the update of I read it. I say, Lord, if my phone rang one more time, but I read it. But I say, you all, thank you so much. Some of the parents I told them, I say, now, you knew this in May when you received your child's report card. Because on that report card, it says retaining pending summer school. My child, it did say that if you got a report card, it said it. And it told you exactly what subjects they had to complete. ELA or math, or ELA and math. But it was some parents that called me, and she's not here, Miss Gloria Brown. I would like to give her a big shout out too, because she got on the phone. Me and her I had done it before. I asked Dr. Joseph, was it okay? But I had done it then, Dr. Joseph. It was too late to say no. And I have to say, Ms. Gloria Brown and myself, we worked hard and we found parents. I would call Ms. Nettles. I even text Ms. Nettles during the weekend. She said, I'm getting ready to go to my godchild's wedding. I said, oh, I'm so sorry. And I said, just send it to me when you can. But I had phone calls all the way up to August the 4th. At first, it kind of got to me. My husband used to tell me, just hang the phone up, hang the phone up. I stopped talking. I said, no, I can't do that. I cannot. My heart is just, oh, I had one call me the other night. I said, love, it's too late. I hate it. I said, it's too late. But my computer went out, my internet went down. Oh, they was giving me all sorts of. I said, I'm not saying it didn't, but you still knew what you had to do. You could have went to the library in Greensboro. You could have come to my house and sit and I told someone, you can come to my house. I have internet. You can come and sit at my table. I'm at home every day. If your internet don't work. But I just want to give a shout out to you, Ms. Nellis. Thank you so much.
Thank you, and thank y'all for, contacting the parents and, even, it kept, I mean.
It made a difference.
It really did.
Absolutely.
It made that's when I really started to see like the momentum, the urgency.
That's right.
It,
And Ms.
it was like,
Bellamy,
look,
your
now we have board members, that's, that was awesome. That was amazing. So thank y'all. So we commend you guys.
Any other comments, board members?
There's refreshments in the back, there's drinks and refreshments on the table back there. Please help yourselves. Thank you for coming. Now.
Well, the best for last. So I have something to say. So I just want, as a citizen of St. Helena Parish, I want us to come together stronger than ever. Because we can make the difference. And I'm pleading with parents, please do whatever it takes to help your child or your children. And motivate these kids. They need some motivation. That's right. Because sometimes we don't know what these kids are going through. So when they come to school, don't just assume that they have it going on. Sometimes just a little conversation with them. to see what's going on with them. Don't jump down their throat. They may not have the right thing on, but you don't know. That may be the only thing that they have to put on. So have some kind of sympathy with these kids. I'm not saying, please believe me, I'm stern, I'm firm, but I'm fair. And I know that we can make a difference in St. Helena Parish if everybody in the community just come together. Stop looking at what he said or she said and come together to make a difference for our kids, because these are our kids and it's our future. And if we don't take a stand, we're going to lose some of them. I'm telling you, we can make a difference. Parents, I'm live again. Please help your children. Motivate them to do what's right. And that is it. Can I get that last one? Oh, yes, this meeting is adjourned.